Day 4, Class 5, English. Today's topic, poem. Good morning, children. I hope you are all having fun studying online. Today we will talk about the same poem that we have studied in the previous class. Today we will go through the exercises of the poem. Before we start with the exercises, let's recite the poem one more time. The Long Way Home by C.J. Dennis. When I go back from Billy's place, I always have to roam the mazy road, the crazy road that leads the long way home. Ma always says, "Why don't you come through Mr. Donkin's land? The footbridge track will bring you back." Ma doesn't understand. I cannot go that way, because of Donkin's dog. So I set forth and traveled north and crossed the fallen log. Last week, when I was coming by, the log had lizards in it, and you can't say I stopped to play if I just search for a minute. I look around upon the ground, and if there are no lizards, I go right on and reach the turn in front of Mrs. Blizzard's. I do not seek to cross the creek, because it's deep and floody, and Ma would be annoyed with me if I came home all muddy. Now let's go back to the poem and go through it line by line, which will help you do the exercises that's coming up. When I go back from Billy's place, I always have to roam. Here in the first line, the poet tells us that whenever he goes back from his friend Billy's, he always have to roam around the way, the mazy road, the crazy road that leads the long way home. And every time he goes back from Billy's place, he have to go through this mazy and crazy road, like we see in the first picture here. Ma always says, "Why don't you come through Mr. Donkin's land? The footbridge track will bring you back." His mother would suggest him to come through Mr. Donkin's land because it's much shorter and that he can take the footbridge. And he says, Ma doesn't understand. Now here, Ma doesn't understand means that there is a reason why he never goes through Mr. Donkin's land, which his mother will never understand. I cannot go that way, because of Donkin's dog. So I set forth and traveled north and crossed the fallen log. Now here, we understand why he said Ma doesn't understand, because he was only afraid of Mr. Donkin's dog, like some of you are afraid of dogs, correct? Yes. So I set forth and traveled north and crossed the fallen log. So he went forward and traveled north, and then he had to cross this fallen log. Last week, when I was coming by, the log had lizards in it, and he continued to say that last week, when he was coming back from Billy's place, while crossing the log, he found lizards. And you can't say I stopped to play if I just search for a minute. And then he would stop and search for the lizards and play with the lizards. I look around upon the ground, and if there are no lizards, I go right on and reach the turn in front of Mrs. Blizzard's. Here the poet tells us that he would go and look for the lizards on the ground, but if there are no lizards to play with, he would go right on and reach the turn which is in front of Mrs. Blizzard's house. I do not seek to cross the creek because it's deep and floody, and Ma would be annoyed with me if I came home all muddy. As you can see in the picture here, this is a picture of a creek, and the poet tells us that he do not like to cross the creek because it's deep and it's floody. And if he crosses this creek, he would get all dirty and muddy, which will make his mother angry. Now children, like I said, today we will be working on the exercises of the poem. Please feel free to go back to the previous day videos for help. Now the first exercise is given here. Answer this question with reference to the context. Why don't you come through Mr. Donkin's land? Question 1. Who said these words and to whom? Question 2. Why did the speaker suggest this? Question 3. What did you think about the suggestion? Now, the line, why don't you come through Mr. Donkin's land, is taken from the first verse of the poem. Please go back to find out the answer for the first question. Who said these words and to whom? Question 2. Why did the speaker suggest this? Now here you will need to write your own answer. Why do you think the speaker suggests this? Question 3. What did you think about the suggestion? Here you will have to write your own thoughts on what you think about the suggestion. Here is your second exercise. Answer this question. Here you will find 6 questions. And for some of you, you might find it very difficult to answer all of the 6 questions. But children, it's okay. Take your time to answer all the questions. These are all simple and easy questions, and all of the answers you will find in the poem. And for some of you, it might be your first time writing your own answers. Please feel free to be creative while answering these simple questions. You don't need to make a long answers, just make it a very simple and short. Question 1. Why does the poet take the long way home? Question 2. Why do you think Ma asks him to take the footbridge track? Question 3. Why does he say Ma doesn't understand? Question 4. Why does he like to cross the fallen log? Question 5. What 2 things would happen if he crosses the creek? Question 6. Do you think the boy's home is very far from Billy's place? Give a reason for your answer. Now children, please remember to be creative in writing your answers. Okay children, now you've got lots of work to do. Good luck with your exercise, and please remember to learn the poem by heart. I will leave you with this note. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Good luck everyone, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.